Mission Control, the space pod has landed.
Here we have a 2015 R1. Cross-plane technology, aluminum tank. Josh, anything you want to add to this? What about the spike? The big stuff? You don't have to fill us in the details.
Right now it's pretty much stock. Performance-wise, I have the stock exhaust, stock ECU. It's the next upgrade I want to do, but that just costs quite a bit of money. The only upgrades I've done is just the Yamaha factory frame sliders, Yoshimura case savers, and a fender eliminator.
The seat looks very similar to the old R1. So, otherwise stock, but for those things, right?
Yeah, everything's stock on it. So.
Cool. And it's got like this number plate area, which I always thought was an odd design choice by Yamaha, but you know, the bike itself looks great. I suppose you could, you know, put something there like a sticker or something. So this I'll be comparing to the 2016 ZX-10R and soon the BMW S1000 Double O. That's coming up as well. I'm going to try to procure a test ride of that, if not just an outright rental. And we'll get plenty of view of the dashboard coming up or the instrument cluster. Cool, all right, Josh, anything else you want to say before we head out?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
We're good to go.
That's it. Okay, so that'll be the pre-interview. Boom! Hey everybody, SpacePod here. Keep in mind, I used to own an R1 in 2005, and I owned that for a couple years, and I put 53,000 miles on it. It's pretty cool. Okay, first mount. Looks a little taller than I remember, but we'll see how it is. It's pretty tall. I had to do a hop to get that kickstand down. The riding position is quite leaned over. Not quite as initially comfortable as the ZX-10R. And it is pretty darn tall. It's a lot taller than the 2005 R1 stock. Okay, I don't like that. The engagement point is way at the end of the clutch travel, which is odd. The bar position is unusual. Controls all feel pretty intuitive. So yeah, the power onset, the power delivery in B mode, let's see. Yeah, mode B. Now this is set up for track riding with the way the levers are rotated, although I would normally try to fix that on the street. So yeah, engagement point's way the fuck out there. I would definitely fix that too normally. Let's go to Power 1 mode. Power 3. Okay, Power 1. Power 1, I like Power 1 mode a lot better. A lot more immediate throttle, so I don't get lulled into complacency. Ooh, that really digs in. And it's just a tiny rotation. But that's a lot how Superbike Sean's bike was. There he is behind me. Mirrors are pretty good, actually. I might go back down to power 2. And we are in mode B as well, by the way. So check out that instrument gauge. Pretty cool. It looks like it's all LCD. You get a lot of information. Now, of course, Yamaha is Valentino Rossi's team. Oh yeah, the kick. The power is quite immediate. This bike is broken in, so I can ride it normally. Now this thing's a lot taller than I remember. The 2005 R1, I could put that pretty easily. But this thing, I can't even really get the kickstand up with my right foot on the ground. I mean, it's pretty tall because the doohickey's out of my reach. Thankfully, there is a doohickey, which is kind of out of reach. Now this does have a quick shifter, which I'll probably use. Woo! That power is just right there. First gear is dangerous. Could be dangerous, potentially. Fueling feels pretty good so far. It's pretty linear. But that power, it does hit hard in first gear with mode 1. Okay, gear indicator. We're in third gear, which is good. I'll keep it nice and fluffy. Some people have complained about me riding in a high gear, but that's just, I do that for safety because until I really know a bike and how its power delivery is, you know, I don't want any surprises. And, you know, you can be easy on the throttle, but you just don't know until you know. And you don't know what you don't know. Second gear. Suspension is pretty firm. Woo! Riding position is quite committed. Ooh, that power. Wow. And that's just a taste. Excellent though, so far. Tank is a perfect shape for gripping, for me anyway, with my knees. Is quite extreme. It takes some getting used to. The pegs are pretty high for obvious reasons. This is definitely a race bike. It did just rain yesterday, so I want to be extra careful. Is a lot fluffier, which I think I prefer because the other one will just kick your ass, and I'd rather have the power when I'm deeper into the low one. especially at the speeds I'm going, which is pretty slow. That's much better. A little bit of slime right there. Low speed corner here. Yeah, the bike isn't as comfortable as a 2016 ZX-10R, and it's a little bit twitchier in the first mode. Not quite at home yet. Still working it out. This is definitely feels more like it's home on the track. You know, like it's at home on the track anyway. I'm definitely riding kind of badly right now. My apologies. The angle of the wrist right now, it's kind of wreaking havoc with me. Quite ready to throw it in the corners. Okay, this is power mode 3. Let's try that. I might like that better. What you don't want to do is think you're going to power 3, you go to power 1. I like power 3. Power 3 is more my speed. Even if you own this bike, I think power mode 3 is the way to go. There is some mud and dirt on the road, so I'm trying to be careful. I'm definitely going to slow it down a little bit, or I am slow right now. And this is not my usual pace, but that's okay. I would rather not have as much fun and not crash. Fuel delivery is really good though, in general. The bike feels really good under power, the way it sort of hunkers down. I heard great things about the BMW S1000RR. One of my friends, Mike, has one, raves about it, and it's got a lot of creature comforts. And as you get to be our age, Mike's a little older than myself, man, you appreciate that stuff. I would love some grip warmers right now. I can hear you guys saying, "Pussy!" But you know, that's just the facts of life. Okay, yeah, this power mode is nice. It's not going to surprise you. It's nice and gentle. Good if you're space pod noodling about for your first time in a canyon, on a road that you know, and yet you're taking it easy because it rained, etc. Not quite comfortable on it yet, though. But yeah, so the MotoGP races are going to be starting in like 7 days. Rossi is still with Yamaha, and you know, go Rossi. I'm a big Rossi fan still, despite the kerfluffle last season. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get his 10th championship this year. Third gear. The riding position is just really brutal on the wrists and the back. I can see why people don't want to be like this all the time. You know, when you ride a bike like CN Cycle's BMW S1000R, holy crap, you definitely start to understand why people like those upright bikes, you know? Okay, quick shifter. Or not, don't need it. I was worried about a wheelie actually. I'll do the quick shifter later when I get to a nice straight. This does have wheelie control on in mode B, so we should be okay. It does have a flash to pass high beam, so that's good. Right there, where you expect it. A lot of adjustability for your front forks. So, pretty awesome stuff. You know, this is a flagship model, so you're gonna get flagship model features. The power is just enormous. It is, it can be a shock when you go from a 300 to any faster bike, especially a leader bike, especially a newer leader bike. Quick shift. Quick shifter is good, nice and smooth. You barely feel it, that's how you want it. As long as you're positive throttle, that's how you use a quick shifter. Just stay on that throttle, snake it up, good to go. Power, very smooth. Woo! I actually had to slide off the seat a little bit there to get my foot down, which this is not a short rider friendly bike. Just so you know, I'm 5'3", 29-inch inseam, and this thing is really tall. I can't even get the kickstand up with my right foot on the ground, my right toe on the ground. And yeah, that's when I know a bike is tall. You know, if you're coordinated and you can do the little hop thingy, great. But if you want a leader bike and you're short, I think the ZX-10R is probably a better choice. It's also a lot more comfortable, and I think it handles like a dream. This thing handles well too, but you know, it's so hunkered down like a race bike that, you know, it should handle well. And believe you me, I'm not really pushing these bikes to their actual limits. You know, I'm just riding within my own ability and skill set. It's a struggle to get the kickstand up. I can get it down okay because I can kick it.
Yeah.
But phew. The R1 2015 is pretty good, man. It's a very extreme riding position, very like track ready.
Yeah.
And so that is something to know. If you're 47 and you're getting older like myself, you might feel it in your wrist and your back, which I did a little bit. Very smooth power delivery, good feeling, I would say, especially in mode 3. So I really like that. Mode 1 is a beast because that power just kicks you in the ass in a good way. But like if you're a racer, of course you're going to want that. If you're just more aggressive, you're used to the bike, great. 2, a little better. 3 is really nice, especially for your first time. The handling was good, although I didn't really push it that much because it rained yesterday and I was taking it easy, and we did find some bits of dirt and mud on the road. And I didn't quite get as comfortable as I did on the Ninja too quickly. But I started getting more comfortable near the end. And so my pace was a little slower. Really nice though, super tall. Unforgivingly tall if you're short. You're not short, so
Yeah.
at least not short
Good
like me.
for me.
And so what did you think of the ZX-3R?
Well, going into it, because I've never been on a bike this small, I thought...
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to feel stable because
Right.
of the lightweight.
Right.
But that's not the case.
Yeah.
And I love the way it just flips back and forth, man. It's like
Sweet.
almost like you're throwing a bicycle around, you know?
I know, dude.
Transmission was good. I had to get used to your clutch.
Yes.
You'll see it in that video when you pass that red car.
Right.
Accidentally went down a gear too far and shot the RPMs up. But
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, the
really-
bite point's a lot closer in than yours.
Yeah, it's
yours
a
is
whole
way
lot
out
closer.
here.
But I love it because it's just like you can have just as much fun riding it on roads and enjoyment
Yeah.
without constantly having that hard throttle on. And
Exactly.
you can
Without
just
having it
enjoy
try to pull you into the stratosphere, which
Yeah.
is fun. I get it. I had an R1 in 2005. I had a brand new R1, owned it for a few years, 53,000 miles I put on it, and it was a lot lower and narrower than this. This is a good segue, Josh, because you're a new rider. You spent 10 minutes on an R6, which I presume was not yours.
No.
Right? Yeah, I bought an R6. I'm selling an R6. So, and then your R1 is effectively your first bike.
Pretty much.
Wow. So now I've always said that if you have a diligent throttle hand and you're not a spaz, you could definitely start on a bigger bike, and you're proof of that. So tell me, how did that go? Did you make any adjustments for that?
Well, the reason why I got the R1, I mean, I grew up racing dirt bikes and things like that, so
Okay.
I had all that out of the way, like knowing how to operate a bike and
Right.
understanding traction and, balance. And I'd been wanting a motorcycle for years. I mean, years.
So you had
but I
deep
could never
experience
afford one.
already. Yeah.
28 years old, I finally had the money to get one,
Definitely an adult by then.
right? And my cousin has a 2004 FZ1,
Uh-huh.
and that was the first bike I actually ever rode.
Right.
And
Okay.
I had a blast on that. I put good time in on that, and I just knew I didn't want anything less powerful than that.
Right.
And so I knew I wanted a bike. I didn't want to go to an R6 and then have to upgrade because I wouldn't have been able to afford the upgrade after buying it.
Right.
And so I did some research, looked at a few bikes, picked the R1. And in my opinion, as long as you have the throttle control,
Yep.
all the rider aids on it, like the ABS, traction control, slide control, it really helps you learn how to ride. It's very, very forgiving if you
Yeah.
mess up.
That works, man. So you're living proof, and I definitely stand by that. And, there's no reason to get dogmatic about starting small. I think it's good to start small for some reasons. But if you want to start bigger, free country, start bigger. It's your money, it's your life. Use best practices, be smart about it, and you can be like Josh here. So, all right, everybody. Well, that was fun. We're going to switch back, and I'll probably do a little follow-up. Thanks again, Josh, for letting me ride your R1. I appreciate that, man. And, this thing is state-of-the-art. Way more bike than I need, but at this point I want comfort, a little bit more comfort, and I definitely want a bike that isn't so short rider unfriendly.
It was nice having a cushiony seat.
Yeah, like
That's a board.
wasn't it nice being able to flat foot and
I was like,
yeah, man. So what do you rank this 1 out of 10? Because I always ask for rankings.
if I was looking at a 300 to buy, well, I haven't ridden any other 300s.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna be spoiled for 300s now.
But I would give it. I'm real tough on things like that. But I'd give it a 7 to an 8, depending on what you're looking for.
Okay.
Just because it. I mean, I still have that need for cracking a throttle open.
I hear that. Yeah.
But if you're looking for a bike to just ride easy or to learn on, then it's a higher grade for sure.
Cool, man.
I
For
like it.
beginners,
I
I mean,
love the exhaust too, by the way.
yeah,
That Yosh sounds good. It's got a good crackle.
yes, it's got a nice burble to it. All right, guys, we're gonna head out and do the rest of the ride.